Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Eric with American Business Systems, and looking forward to spending the afternoon with you here for just a little bit. We are going to get started here in probably in another just a couple of minutes here. We always like to give some time for people to show up for the webinars. And today we're going to talk about why choose ABS as your medical billing partner. I'm going to go through a lot of detail this afternoon. I'm going to try to crunch in as much as I can. I've got a lot of information I'd like to try to share with you, and typically we try to get it done within 30 minutes. However, today we might go over just a little bit because there is so much information I want to try to share with everybody this afternoon. So hope everybody's doing well. It's trying to stay cool here in the month of August as we kind of get the last part of this summer heat away from us. And so hopefully we'll all survive that and be just fine as we get ready to go into the fall. I can't believe that man, I showed up at the store the other day. They already got fall stuff out. I can't believe we can't even get out of the heat this summer, but maybe a little bit that kind of makes us feel a little bit more cool, I guess, as we kind of start putting up fall things here as we go forward. All right, everybody. Looks like we've got a pretty good start here. We've got Charlie and we've got James and Jinder, I hope I said your name correctly. Unique, good to see you. Got some other folks that have dialed in, don't know what their names are, but it's good to see everybody this afternoon. Like I said, I've got a lot of information I'm going to try to pack in within 30 minutes or less as possible. We'd like to do that because we try to balance this out so when we put it out on the YouTube channel, we're not going a full hour. That's a lot of information for someone to sit there and not know that they're in a live webinar. But so let's kind of get some things kicked off here. So we're just going to be talking about why choose ABS over anybody else, and maybe another franchise, maybe another business opportunity, maybe another medical billing business opportunity out there. So we want to try to answer some of your questions as we go through this afternoon. James, it's good to see you again. Appreciate you showing up this afternoon. So folks, what we're going to do is I want you to be ready to go through and get your questions answered. So if you'll find the Q&A box there, just like James did, if you want to pop in and just tell me where you're located, you can tell me the state that you're located in. It's always helpful. I love to kind of see where everybody's located, but it also helps you to know where you can ask your questions. Now, we're going to share questions maybe towards more the end. So if I get some folks, your questions that come in during the webinar, and it is maybe not exactly to that topic, I may wait and take that question more towards the end of the webinar this afternoon. So hopefully that'll be okay with you. Again, my name is Eric Auger. I'll be your host this afternoon for today's webinar. Like I said, we're going to be talking about why choose ABS as your medical billing partner. Hopefully this is going to play. So let's see if it's going to play. It's a little introduction from Dr. Vicki Ragnar.
I'm Dr. Vicki Ragnar. I come from my experience as a practicing surgeon and entrepreneur to help doctors thrive. What I can tell you is that while doctors are smart people, they don't have a great business savvy. So the services that ABS offers can literally help doctors turn their practices and their lives around. This is a viable, growing market. Not only that, Dr. Phillips and Adam Phillips have a true commitment to the success of the people who join the ABS family. I think you can't go wrong here.
All right, so Dr. Ragnar talked to us just real briefly about a market. I'm going to touch on that just real briefly. Hope everybody heard that and it came across for you just okay. So I see some other folks that joined in, April and Charlie and Kristen. Dion, just type in over, I think Chris already did that, but just type in where you're located. That would be very helpful for me. You can find that Q&A box there, and that way you'll know again where to type in your questions here. ABS has been around for over 30 years. It started quite some time ago. It started off with this family, the Patrick Phillips family, with Patrick and Linda and their children there, as you can see there. That's Adam and Sarah. As time has gone on, the business has grown. It grew from just being a home-based business to teaching others how to do this work. And then finally, Adam has now taken over the reins. He is now our CEO of our company. Just a brief introduction to him. If you haven't met him, I'm sure he would be happy to chat with you at any time. But Adam is a author, a writer. He's written a book with Dr. Vicki Rackner, 9 Ways Doctors Let Money Slip Through Their Fingers. And he's also written a recent article on will the advancements in artificial intelligence take over my job as a medical biller or coder? If you'd like to get a copy of that, simply go back and ask your sales rep, and they'll be able to help get you a copy of that if you'd like to take a look at that. It's a great article. Matter of fact, we did a webinar on this earlier this year. We actually did it back in the spring. It's amazing how quickly this year is going by. But if you'd like to go back, I'll show you some areas where you can go find that. He is also the creator and the originator of an organization called MIRMA. MIRMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. Once you've completed, not only once you've joined us here at American Business Systems, and this is one of the advantages of being a part of an ABS, is once you've completed your purchase agreement here and you've gone through the training, you will automatically be a part of this association. You'll be able to carry the MIRMA logo with you. And again, it's the MIRMA group that actually certifies you as a certified medical revenue manager once you complete the training. Now, today, I'm not going to be talking too much about the training. I'm going to dive straight into a question. And that is what Dr. Vicki Rackner just mentioned, that there is a growing market for this. But the question always is there a market? It'd be great to know that ABS can be a great medical billing partner with you, but you got to figure out, is there a market out there? So I'm going to first start off with this next slide here. And this slide is telling us, oh, let's get that back in the blue there. It'll kind of help us see that the global revenue cycle management market size is right now currently, folks, $136 billion in 2024, and it's at a compound annual growth rate of 14.1%. Now, folks, when you're looking to get into a market, you're not wanting to just a little bit of a growth. You want as big of a growth as you can make it. And you can see where it's heading into 2021. And this is part of right out of the brand new global revenue cycle management market share analysis industry trends and statistics. So this has nothing to do with American Business Systems, but it is here for you. We want to just kind of show you that the market is greater than what you can even imagine. Now, what are doctors saying? We know this from Dr. Vicki Rackner because she spends so much time with doctors that we do know that 2 out of 3 doctors say they are just squeaking by or in the red financially. Now, there are other compounding things that doctors are going through. If you'll recall, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch the webinar that I did with Dr. Vicki Rackner a few weeks ago, not only are doctors struggling with how they're getting paid, but they're also struggling with all different types of stuff. A lot of burnout. There's still burnout even from COVID, if you can imagine, folks. But, you know, there are doctors that haven't recovered from the COVID pandemic that we had a couple of years ago, and they've struggled. And we know that some doctors have gone into a group practice or maybe an employment practice type of a practice, but a lot of these doctors are wanting to get out of that and get back to more independent. So there is a market there. And we know that there's a lot of money wasted on billing expenses. And that has to do with everything from the administrative side to the billing side of it. And I'm going to answer a little bit of a question here this afternoon also in one of my slides this afternoon is, why would a doctor use me if they've already got a medical biller in their office? And I'm going to show you this, and it's going to kind of help answer this question, why 24 cents of almost every dollar are wasted on both the administrative and the billing expenses. And we'll kind of help share that with you. But enough of all of that. Let's kind of get right on in. Why choose ABS? Why choose anybody else out there other than American Business Systems? First of all, I want to start off with a question that usually gets asked quite often during our webinars, and I want to kind of hit this off right off the bat, and that is, what is the investment? And folks, let's talk about this. This is not an investment that you're just making into American Business Systems. This is an investment that you're making into yourself. And then you got to figure out, how can I get a return on that investment? How can I invest what I'm going to invest in, whether it's this business or anybody else, and how quickly can I get that back? Now, I've answered that question in the past where it's really going to only take you one doctor within 1 year to get your investment back. The investment here is a $30,000 investment. It's a one-time all-inclusive investment, as you can see there. Our package is comprehensive. It doesn't limit you on anything. So whenever it comes to training, you have all the training that you're going to need. If you need to go through some more supplemental trainings, we've got all that taken care of. How about support? How long is support? Our support is a lifetime. Doesn't matter if you run out of, you don't have to worry about running out of support time. You always have that with us. What about if we bring on new technology or new services? That's all included. You never have to pay another dime back to American Business System as we add other services to your business model. That's what we're always trying to do. And the reason that we bring more services to your business model is because we want to make sure that when you're out there and you're growing your business, you have all the latest of all the new services that are out there whenever it comes to medical billing, and then anything else that even might have to go with coding. We've expanded how many different platforms we have right now. We've got some for smaller practices, we've got some for mid practices, and we got one for a large practice now. Not only top of that, we also have dental billing. So if there's anybody that's interested in doing some dental billing, we also have a service for that. But again, the emphasis here is what makes ABS the best is that we don't limit you, we don't throttle you and say, hey, if you want to get a little bit more from us, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more. There is an organization that's out there that does that. And you can see here, I've just took a snapshot of what they charge on their information. They've got 3 different ways. They've got somewhat of a turnkey start, they've got everything in principal, and they've got everything in preferred. And as you can see, it keeps going up by another 10 grand each time, where we're right at $30,000, and that's everything covered. And that is unlimited amount of support, consultation if you want it. And I'm also going to show you that every demonstration of our software comes with us. We actually do the demonstrations for you. That's not going to be left up to you. That's what we do. So this is what others are charging. What else you're going to be getting here, again, is being a part of the largest network of medical billing companies in the United States. This has been going on, like I said, for over 30 years. And once we've put Murma together and pulled this as an organization together, you are now linked into a huge organization. And whenever I'm talking about LinkedIn, it's more than just the LinkedIn part of out there that's in social media world, but really LinkedIn with our group. And if there's questions, there's answers that you need help with, we're always here to help out with that. Matter of fact, there are other ABS business owners, which you can call as part of your ABS family, to help you with as you're trying to get some questions answered about a particular field of medicine that you might be doing some billing for, or you've got some questions about doing billing. You always have answers for that. So that's one of the things that really gets us separated from everybody else. I also want to show you what else you get with American Business Systems here. And it gets into the nitty-gritty about support, okay? Because support, you're always going to need. And right, I'm showing you right now is just a screenshot of our support system. Obviously, there's the phone number. You kind of might already recognize that phone number. It's 866-565-8413. But there's an extension to it that gets you support. Now, right now, those that are not part of American Business Systems as a business owner here, if you do hit 2, you might actually get somebody live, but they're going to ask you some questions to verify that you're an ABS business part of American Business Systems. If you're not, they'll just simply tell you thank you for calling, and that there are other people that do need to get that call. But what I want to show you here is this, is that the ABS business website for our, what we call our licensees, is live and up and running. And I wanted to kind of go there right now. I wanted to kind of stop sharing this part of it and share a different part of my screen here so that you can see what I'm talking about here. So let me go over here and share this part of the website. And I'm already logged in. And let's just go straight on over to the landing page over here for the ABS LSS. So let's go over here to the news, and let's kind of just see what we've got here. So we've got some different things that have come up here that are, let me view it in the original part of it here. Here we go. There's some things that are going on. We've got some new services that are coming on. There's a new live webinar, and that's strictly for our business owners. We always have new information here, but I want to get over to here underneath. Let me get back over don't need that part of it. I want to get over here to the services. And here you can see all the different services. So if you want more information on how the iClaim EMRX part of it works, we've got all of that over here, listed over here. I'm going to go over here to one of our new services. You can see that this is always being updated. So I'm going to go one of ours right here. So if you get in, once you get involved here with us here at American Business Systems, you're always going to have this at your fingertips, because you're going to go through a live training class. That training class is going to take you through 10 modules as you go through that training class. But once you get through with that, you get your certification, there's always going to be times where, man, I wish I could remember what the trainer was telling me about iClaim and EMRX. You can always go over here and find out that. You can get some download information through. You can watch the video here. You can see some overviews here, how to target market your doctor, and how to be able to utilize everything that we have here to help you get through that. There's literally hundreds and tons of information here, even getting into the marketing, how to do your direct mail. If you want to do a little bit of direct mail, we have all these different services to help you get and work, whether it's your warm market. If some people would like to go out and do a trade show, we have a full trade show booth. I'm going to pull that up here, see if we've got some information on that. So we've got show you exactly how to do it, how to order it, how to know when to ship it to you. Listen, we've got it all covered for you. So there's nothing that you're going to be left without whenever you get started with us here at American Business Systems. And because we have all of this all ready for you, you never have to worry about, am I going to have to pay extra for that? If I need more marketing material, what are you going to need to do to get more marketing material? It's really at cost to us. It just costs us the cost of printing. We don't mark it up because we're not a franchise. So that's one of the big differences between a franchise and a business opportunity. We're here to help you grow your business, not to help grow our business by selling you extra stuff on the back end of it. So that gives you a little bit of information about the licensee support side. Now, I mentioned earlier that you're going to have live online training. Now, this online training is just like what we're going through right now on our Zoom webinar here, except for the difference. And the difference is this, that instead of you being muted on your side and just having to type in your questions to communicate with me, that line will be open for you. So you'll start off, start going through all of your modules. And if you got questions, and when you do have questions, you'll be able to ask those questions during that time. Now, folks, we used to have live training here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which took about 5 days. You'd have to fly on a Sunday, typically flew out on a Friday afternoon, and that's a lot of information. And before COVID actually happened, Adam turned, and the executive team here turned our training from a live in-person training to a live online training. And this was all done before COVID. It probably happened almost 6 to 8 months prior to COVID. And it really was the best thing that we ever did. And we've loved it ever since then. And for you, that saves you money from not having to buy travel expenses and eating out and having to arrange your schedule and maybe take some vacation off. This can all be worked around your schedule. Like I said, there's 10 modules that you'll go through here, and those 10 modules are going to take you everything from the startup of even helping you try to figure out how to name your business to how to get one of our websites that we have already templated for you, how to get your logo on there, how to get it uploaded on the internet. So, folks, we don't leave any stone uncovered whenever it comes to your training. You'll know exactly during that training almost what markets you need to go start marketing to. Your instructor will start giving you some homework assignments to do between each session, so that when you come back, they're going to be able to help you and know how you're going to be able to market to certain parts of your neighborhood and everything. I mentioned earlier that we do live demonstrations. Now, what I want to share with you right now, for you, if you have not had the opportunity to get with your sales rep here at American Business Systems and then schedule a live demonstration of any of our software, you're failing yourself. So what I need for you to do is just maybe stop what you're doing right now, and then make sure that you make a note to say, hey, after the webinar, I need to get back with my sales rep and ask to get a live demo instruction for me. The reason for that is there's twofold to that. One, you're going to really get to see how our software works compared to any other software. You do not have to buy a server. You don't have to load up a server for the doctor or anything. This is all a cloud-based type of system. It will allow you to not have to worry about updates or patches or security. But the other part about it is that you really get to learn about the system before you purchase. But the bonus about this is that this demo is going to be very closely to the same demo that your prospective doctor will see once we start to present this to your doctors. And folks, the great thing about this is once you've got that doctor up to the point of seeing a demonstration, because you've done all the legwork that needs to be done through all of that, you're going to find out that more than 50% of doctors who attend a demonstration actually purchase from you. They become your client. So that's the important part of why you right now need to go through a demonstration with your sales rep here at American Business Systems. So don't forget about getting that demonstration done. Now, the other parts of what you're going to get are all of these professional tools, whether it's the New Thriving Medical Practice book, which will be customized for you because you will be the author of the foreword to the book. I'll explain that here in a little bit more. Over on the right-hand side, you see 9 ways doctors let money slip through their finger. This is another book that you'll be able to use to get into the doctor's hands. I got to tell you this real quick story. It just literally happened yesterday. My wife went to the mailbox, bring in the mail. Typically, you know, the mail that you get in, you kind of know when there's maybe a credit card in there, or it's just something, or you just know that it's just nothing. But on this particular envelope, and I'm telling this for a good purpose here, this was just a regular envelope that you would normally get in the mail, but it was a different color. I have to say that it was different from all the other envelopes that we had in the mail. It was more of a kind of a tannish brown. It said, you know, on the front of it, it said expiration coming soon. But in there, it was something that was different than I've never felt before. And I thought to myself, I just want to open it to see what this is. So I opened it up, and it was from a car dealership. And it was a little piece of plastic, probably no more bigger than this, about that long, and had a little tab on it. And then when you pull the tab, there was this a number that popped up. And if that number matched the number that you could scratch off on the letter, supposedly you win something. Now, I tell you that story for a good purpose. A lot of you might be a little afraid of marketing, right? We use that same technique in getting the new thriving medical practice into the doctor's hands. You're going to learn in your training class how to use special envelopes that's going to say confidentially to the doctor. You're going to put the book in there along with a letter from you and a letter from Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, when that gets mailed to the doctor, where do you think it's going to go? Do you think it's going to end up in the trash? It never ends up in the trash. Number one, it says confidential. 2, you're going to name to the doctor, and you're going to get it to the doctor. And we're going to even show you some special ways how to even highlight certain areas of that book that will have that doctor go straight to those, and there's some highlighted areas there. Really helps that out. I can tell you that during the COVID years, that many of our ABS business owners use that to get new clients because you can go see the doctors, let alone being maybe just a tad shy of trying to go to a doctor's office and wanting just to get some information there. You can also put in some of this information that you see here, any of the flyers that we have in that. We don't want you to bulk it up too much because now it'll look too squirrely, but we're going to show you how to get that book into the doctor's hands. That's what you're getting here. That's so different. There's no other business opportunity that has books and educational information that you're going to be able to really, truly get into the doctor's hands. Okay. The next thing that you'll have with us is live coaching. You can see over here to the left side of this, through the MIRMA organization, we've got coaches that are involved in MIRMA. Who are these folks? These are all ABS business owners. These folks have been around with us for a long time, whether they're coming from our technical support, our technical marketing teams, or the ABS business owners themselves that have been around to help you with that. If you need live one-on-one coaching, you're going to have that through MIRMA. Okay. All right. So we are almost down to the bottom of the hour, and I've got so much more I want to share with you. Feel free to go ahead and start typing in your questions. If you've got any questions so far, but as I get into this, I want to share a little bit of information for some of you, just so that you know that even we're going to take this little bit of time to do some education. How about that? We're going to talk about what is medical billing. Let's talk about that real quickly. Once a doctor sees their patients, there are two ways in which they're going to be able to get paid. They're either going to get paid directly from the patient, which is a cash pay or a self-pay type of patient, which they're going to just write a check or put it on a credit card or actually give cash to the doctor, or they're going to have to bill an insurance, okay? That's going to be Medicare, Medicare Railroad, it could be one of the Medicare Advantage plans, it could be one of the commercial plans, Aetna, United, whatever it might be, but they've got it. That's a delay in payment. Obviously, it wouldn't be nice. That's why a lot of doctors are going to more of a concierge type of model where they're seeing patients, they're not taking any insurance, because why? They want to get paid right then. Why bill something out? But most doctors don't operate that way. And I'd say the majority of the doctors don't operate that way. So the only way for those doctors to get paid is someone to create a claim, send it to the insurance company, and then it's going to take a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. Sometimes it actually takes up to 30 to 40 days for a doctor to get paid. Now, I don't know about you, but typically if I send out an invoice to somebody, I'm looking to get paid fairly quickly, not the next month or another 60 days on top of that. But medical billing is just basically the process of filling a medical insurance claim with health insurance for health insurance companies. Now, the responsibility of codes, I'm going to kind of go up to the front here because a lot of people might be a little bit afraid of medical codes, but I'm going to let you know just in a brief moment here that it's always the doctor's responsibility to provide you the medical codes for your billing company. You don't have to wait and get the notes from the doctor and then just try to decipher, oh my goodness, is this a 99214 or 99212 code for the procedure codes, and my goodness, what's the diagnosis codes? There's like hundreds of thousands of those now. It's all going to come in the doctor's notes nicely and neatly, because typically doctors are already using an EMR system, but if they're using ours, once they complete that note with the patient, it actually is already in the billing area for you to process that claim. All right, so I've talked about codes here, and all medical codes are numbers for the insurance companies to use to pay the claim. That's all that it gets done. And there's only two types of codes that there's going to be needed. A diagnosis code, which explains to the insurance company what the doctor finds wrong with the patient. Okay, a cough, a high blood pressure, whatever it might be, there's a code for those things. Then there's a procedure code. The procedure code is what the doctor has done for the patient. How much time that they spent with them? Did they do any extra testing in the office? Did they give the patient an injection? Those are procedures. That's how much the insurance knows to pay back the doctor on that. So that's what the big part of it is. So when we talk about in-house billing versus outsourced billing, I want to kind of go through these pretty quickly because, again, we're coming up towards the bottom of the hour. But really some challenges that happen there is that there's a lack of quality and effective billing resources. Now, that won't be with you because you're going to have a full team back behind you here at American Business Systems, because things change. Imagine a doctor hires somebody, they may have gone to some classes, they may know some stuff right then, they may know all the updated information right now. But typically, these folks get so busy, especially in a doctor's office, they can't keep up with all the different resources. Trouble staying up to date in the latest guidelines, like I'm saying there. We'll have all of that for you. Frequently changing codes and increased claims denials. That's what happens. So when things change a little bit, sometimes even throughout the year, there starts to see this gradual climb of claims that start getting denied. Their systems aren't checking it. The person doesn't have the information. This comes with some of the challenges. And then finally, late handling of denied or rejected claims, or if ever those denied claims ever get refiled. And that's where the doctor really loses it, because they've already seen the patient. The patient may already be well. They've already filed the insurance claim to that patient's insurance, only to find out that claim comes back rejected. This billing person there at the doctor's office is busy with other things that besides just billing that happens within that office. And then these rejected claims come in. They're having to rework those on top of trying to get out new claims, and sometimes a lot of things that happen within that doctor's office, as you can see. So let's talk about just, again, some of these in-house billing challenges. And this is one that is a challenge in and of itself. And a lot of us just don't take thought of this. For a billing clerk is going to make anywhere from, could be $35,000 to up to $50,000. So we kind of took this between 1.5 billing employees, and that's going to be right about $68,000 right there. Then on top of that, you got payroll taxes, workers' comp. You got all these other different things that the doctor has to have inside of there. Total cost of the practice, just having for basically 1.5 employees doing billing, $95,000. If they were outsourced that same amount of claims to you, it would have cost them $54,600. Well, again, you're asking the question, why would a doctor have an in-house biller versus outsourcing? And would a doctor ever want to consider outsourcing? You bet. There's a part of what we're going to teach you in the training class that, again, not a lot of other people do this. We show you and handhold you through what's called a practice analysis questionnaire. We're going to be able to collect all of this data. And once we have that data and we match it up to where we know that we can reduce the amount of rejected claims, we're actually going to present back to the doctor some real numbers showing the doctor, this is how we're going to be able to help you. Let me show this to you real quickly. So you're going to go through this practice analysis questionnaire. This is a proof for outsourcing. Okay, get what this is. This is a proof why a doctor would want to outsource. We've got all these different questions. We're going to help you through all of that. Eventually, it's going to spit out some data information to you. It's going to come out with what's called a practice revenue report. And then finally, I mean, this is it, but I'm going to blow this up a little bit more. But you can see here for this particular doctor, this doctor was seeing just about 300 patients at about $100 a claim. But we found out that the doctor had a rejection rate of about 25%. All right, so if you take 25% of 300, that's a lot of patients that this doctor is not getting paid on. So if we reduce that 25 down to 2, you can see we're down that second section down there where it says projected, and we do some calculations there. And then finally, down at the very bottom, projected dollar impact on practice. This is what the positive side of everything is going to be. They're going to have an increase of revenue of over 58%. That's another $10,000 a month. Now, folks, that's on top of what I showed you earlier. Let me kind of go back to that slide over here, because a lot of people ask, why would a doctor want to outsource? That's on top of reducing an outgo of expenses of over $40,000. Okay, I'm hoping this is sinking in here. Okay, so adding another $40,000 divided by 12, you can do that a little bit later, and then adding another $10,000 more a month on top of that. You can see clearly why a doctor would want to do the right thing and outsource that particular billing. Okay, so this is really one of the reasons why ABS stands out from everybody else, because we have these tools. We perfected these tools, and like I said, there are no additional charges. If you want us to do this once, we'll do it once with you. If you want us to do it 100 times with you, we'll do it 100 times. That's including, again, the demonstrations of every single time a doctor wants to see your software. That's not limited to you either. The other thing that we have that no other organization out there has whenever it comes to medical billing and trying to get your first client is that we do have some expert resources, and that is Dr. Vicki Rachner. I mentioned to you earlier that she will put a letter out on your behalf explaining why the doctor might want to consider outsourcing their billing to you personally, not just in general, but to you personally. That's the important thing about it. And you'll be able to conclude that letter along with the book here, The New Thriving Medical Practice. And as I said earlier, your name will actually go on front of the cover of that particular book. Why? Because we've got an area of the book that we can print this on demand and have what you want to write on that forward. Now, we do have a templated forward that you can utilize. A lot of people do. Some want to say, hey, I want to change it up a little bit. I want it to sound more like me. We can work with you in getting that done. But your name gets printed on the front of the cover of the book and included on the inside of that book, your name and all of your contact information goes in the front side of the book as well. So folks, whenever it comes down to trying to figure out how can ABS help me get my client, train me, provide me all the tools that I'm going to need to get this business up and going, this is what makes us stand out than anybody else. Before I let everybody go here, I want to make sure that if there's any questions here, you're more than welcome to ask some of the questions here as I kind of go through this. But I want to kind of wrap up here real quickly on one other little topic here. And I want to put this in here and let's talk real quickly about some advantages of outsourcing. Okay. Well, so we'll wrap up with this. And then, so if you got any particular questions, feel free to go ahead and type those in now. First of all, outsourcing streamlines the entire medical billing process, everything from patient scheduling to collections. The way that our systems work, and because it's a cloud-based system, it allows complete connection because instead of having to load this on your computer, the doctor's computer, and all of their staff's computer, everybody gets a login to one system. It's a secured login. It streamlines everything. People at the office can put in patient information. The doctors can do their own scheduling. They get the information to you electronically, which allows you to do the billing, typically, many times, the same day that the patient's being seen. Secondly, it's going to boost profitability due to a focused effort by an independent medical billing company, unlike someone who actually works inside the doctor's office and might get pulled from one task to another. You're not being pulled from one task to another. You're focused on one thing, and that's the doctor's billing. And again, going back and remembering the cost of just having the employee there, $65,000 there. There's no incentive for that particular person that works there to make any more money than what has been owed to them. Okay, they're a full-time employee, unlike yourself. And that is whether the doctor's getting paid or not. Now, remember, you get paid on how much money you bring in. You get a percentage of what you help the doctor bring in. It's a win for the doctor. It's a win for you because the doctor knows that you're incentivized to make sure that you keep those denials as low as possible. Like I said, in the 2 to 3% percentile part of that. It reduces the amount of claims rejected, as I said. Why is that? Again, it's because you're incentivized, of yourself getting paid. And if you want to try to get as much money back into that doctor's office as possible. And then lastly, there's a focus on accounts receivable follow-ups to produce a positive cash flow to the doctor's office. Now, obviously, if there's a positive cash flow to the doctor's office, there is a positive cash flow towards you as well. All right. I'm going to get down here to this last little part here. Hopefully, we've helped answer some of the questions of why you would like to choose American Business Systems as your billing partner. Folks, because we stay with you from the beginning to the end, including past as many of your clients that you want to build, whether it's 1 to 2 clients, or whether it's 10 to 20, or whether it's 100 to 200, it doesn't matter to us. We want to be there for you. And we're not going to just leave you high and dry. We're not going to just say, hey, we wish that you were doing the best. You saw just a moment ago on our ABS licensee support site, our LSS site there, that we had training classes as soon as this Friday for our ABS business owners. It is because we continually teach and train. We never shut anybody off because you've had your training and support only last 2 to 3 years. And if you want more, then it's going to cost you more to do that. We don't do that to you. We don't nickel and dime you. That was never Patrick's vision of this. He wanted to make sure that every particular business owner that came in here with American Business Systems could make the most that they could make. And it's the same thing that has gone on to be transferred over to Adam. Adam is the same way. He is still looking for new solutions for you. He is here to help you, along with his executive team, all of his sales reps that he has here at American Business Systems, everybody that's in support here. And these are live support people that are here to help you. And these support people are not just paid support people. These are support people, again, who have been and still are in many cases still doing medical billing. They've grown their business big enough to where they've got other people that can run the business for them and then still be able to help ABS, American Business Systems, to support any of our ABS business owners here at ABS. So, all right. So the last thing I want to leave you with here before I kind of go into your next steps of some things you should be doing, let's not forget that we are the only business opportunity in the United States that actually gives a 30-day money-back guarantee. Once you've made your investment, you set through as many webinars as you want to, you've done enough demos as you wanted to do, you really have done your due diligence by talking to some of our ABS business owners before you became a business owner here at ABS. You've done all of your due diligence. You've done everything. You make your investment, you go through training, and still that leaves you a few weeks left once you've gone through some training to still make a decision as to whether or not this is the right business for you. You will never find another franchise or business opportunity that will ever give this type of money back guarantee. American Business Systems we believe in what we do, and that's part of our help to you as you can continue to keep making your decision. So now with that known, what are your next steps? Your next steps are to get a research guide from us. Again, get back with your sales rep here at American Business Systems. This is about a 60 to 65 page research guide that has more detail in it than we even have on our website. So you're going to want to be able to grab that, get a copy of that. You can download it. It's a PDF. They'll be able to get that to you. Secondly, I want you to go and browse our YouTube channel. If you haven't done that, you're missing out on a lot. I'm going to starting this week, I'm actually going to start posting what we did from last week so you'll know what to expect. If you missed last Wednesday's webinar, you missed a live Q&A with ABS executive team. That's Adam Phillips and Jason Pettit. These guys are running the ship here. They are doing an incredible job here, leading American Business Systems. And if you've got questions that you don't feel like you're getting answered from me or from from any of your sales reps, which I know any of us can answer any of your questions here, go back and watch the webinar from last week. Grab that. You can go to youtube.com/YABS, pick up that webinar. Folks, there's some great webinars that we've done here recently. And like I mentioned earlier, I did an interview with Dr. Vicki Rackner. A week and a half ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, I did one on, how is ABS going to help you get your first client? I know these are answers to a lot of your questions that you need answered to right away, and we've got that covered on many of our webinars. Then, once you start talking with some of those ABS coaches, all right, we call them references, but these folks are going to be your ABS coaches once you become part of the ABS family. You might as well talk with them now. They'll help you through their processes, what they did right, what they did wrong, and what they would have done it differently, how they would have done it differently. So you might as well talk to them now and kind of get to know them. Tell them that you're about to become a business owner here at American Business Systems. You just want to meet these folks now because you can tell them, I'm going to be calling on you. You can go ahead and reach out to some of those folks there. Just get back with your sales rep and they're going to give you a list of those folks and they'll help you get coordinated with that. I've already mentioned earlier about scheduling a live demonstration. You need to get that done. It's going to be through a Zoom meeting. It's going to be opened. It won't be closed, muted like we are right now. But you're going to want to get this demonstration of the software. Finally, get the purchase agreement. It's 5 pages long. Your ABS sales reps will send you a link to this. You can then get it, download it. Since it's in a PDF format, you can send it to your attorney. You can send it to your CPA. You can send it to somebody else that you trust in business just to have them review this. I will point out on the first page of there, you can see down there one of the largest pieces down there of the paragraphs down there is the refund policy. It's right on the front page. Won't take you 2 minutes, not even two seconds to hardly read through that. And you'll see there's no wiggle room out for us. If you aren't happy with the program or the training, you can simply ask for your money back. Lastly, get your funding in and let's get you trained. We can get you trained as soon as starting your training as early as next week. Now, let me tell you, here we are at the middle part of the year, getting ready to start the fall, going into the last part of the year. Now, let me kind of tell you a little hidden secret that I always like to share about this time of the year. And that is, this is the time of the year that doctors are starting to think, I'm at my halfway point of the year. How am I going to project to clean up and get projected for the rest of the year? And then how do I want to do 2025 differently? So it's going to really be over the next few months that these doctors are making some big decisions. They're deciding which people that they're going to keep on staff doing billing, or can I just outsource my billing, keep those people. Now, we're not getting rid of anybody's job, but keep those people and have them still tasked with some of the things that I need them to be tasked to doing. They're going to be thinking about HIPAA compliancy going into 2025. There's going to be a brand new set of HIPAA compliancy rules and regulations going into 2025. These doctors are going to have no idea what they're going to need to do differently going into 2025. We have that covered under Compliancy Guard. You're going to need to know more about Compliancy Guard as time goes on, as the patients of these doctors continue to get older and older, and the doctors need to do some verify all of their vital signs at home. We have a complete package, what's called virtual, what is it? Virtual care. I can't even remember what it was called there. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. But it's for what's called remote patient monitoring. Going to find that slide for you. I had so many slides up here. I can't even find it here real quickly. But so we have all these different services that I dare say anybody else has. But we want to get your funding in, get your training in, sign that agreement. Let's get this show on the road and let's kind of get you started as we kind of start wrapping up 2024 and you get ready for 2025. Some of you have a short term of trying to get your business up and going. You're going to want to get that done. Lastly, I'm going to share with you, if you haven't downloaded this, you're going to want to get a hold of this as well. It's called our 5 Secrets to Success. It's actually on our first page of our website. Just go over there, click on Download 5 Secrets to Success. Fill out the information as you can see here. It's your first, last name, and email address. You won't change sales reps here if you've already got a sales rep that you're working with. You'll be able to get all of this information and have that at your access. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to wrap up this. We actually almost went 50 minutes, even for our YouTubers here. We got a lot of information in here. I'm going to suspend this part of it real quickly. And if there's any questions you want me to answer live, I'm here to hopefully do that. But for our YouTube folks that are joining us by YouTube, we thank you for joining us by watching the recording. Give us a call here at 866-565-8143, 866-565-8413. Be happy to help you out.